Well, the B is done. Still haven't decided how I'm going to deal with the ESP32 board. Right now it's just shoved inside there. And I didn't want to have to do this, but I'm going to have to make little connectors between each letter. But that'll be easier for her, because then she can, move it around without having to worry about all of them being connected. So the B looks good. There's only one little issue, but I think I can fix it with just a tiny little drop of glue, and that is this wants to, I guess it's not really a big deal, but I didn't put, because these little tabs that it sticks in are like flat, I didn't want to make like a curved one over here because it would be too visible. So that does stick out just a smidge, but I think just a tiniest little drop of glue right there would solve that. Not that it matters, I mean, unless you look at it from like, it's hard to see from here, but yeah, you're never going to be able to tell, really. And the R, I think, has the same issue. But it works, and I also added some little touch buttons down here so it can be controlled. Now, I had this sitting on the desk, and I realized an issue, and that is if it's sitting down, how can you touch them, right? So I was going to extend just one of them at least, all the way out to the side here, and that's the one that turns it off. As you can see, it turned off. And I'll turn it back on with a little touch. And just to demonstrate what the other modes do, and I gotta find a better way to place these. I wanted to make it so that this could be mounted flush on the wall if she wanted to, and just put holes, run the wires through the walls if she wanted to. But if I put like a copper pad here, it's not gonna look as nice. So I gotta figure out some place to put the touch controls. Maybe I'll just duplicate them on the side here, and if she wants, she can just peel them off. They're not that important. You can still control it over the internet. And just so you know, the touchpad stuff is actually hooked up to screw terminals. So in case these ever break, copper tape doesn't, if you peel it and unpeel it enough times, it'll just tear. It can be easily replaced. You just unscrew those terminals and you're good to go. So let me show you what the second touchpad does. I'm going to touch it. There we go. Change the mode. That's standard marquee mode. And this is twinkle mode. It'd be better if you could see it from a distance, yeah. And I'll touch it again. I'll knock my headphones over. I'm not sure what mode that is. Here we go. Rainbow marquee mode. I think that's one of my favorites. So it does the marquee, but it slowly cycles the color over time. And I'll see if I can get it to go just regular marquee mode, but that'll involve. So that's single color mode. Can't change the color here. That's rainbow mode. That's regular marquee. And by default, it starts in rainbow mode, but I'm not sure. It might be better to put it in. I don't know. That was just based on my decision. Like, all right, if I had this thing and I plugged it in for the first time, I probably wouldn't want it blinking in my face like that. So I made the rainbow mode the default. But really, if we want it to be a Broadway sign, this is what it should do. Or the rainbow marquee. Now, let me put it back to either rainbow or single color mode. Okay, that's rainbow. No, that's single color mode. Now, the only thing I didn't make a button for changing the color. You really only do that online, and it's the only place that makes sense. And what this does, it works like colors. Yeah. So let me show you the back since it fell down. It's pretty robust. It's not going to hurt it. It'll be fine. So I added this little notch here for hanging, and it's just if you don't want it to move, just take a file or like a key or something and just scrape out a little lip so it won't slide around. But here's the screw terminal I was talking about. So those go to the touchpads there, and now I guess it'd be easier for me to to adjust the brightness, which is what this third button does. If you just hold it down, it'll cycle through really bright down to the dimmest possible value and then start back up again, just like one of those old dimming lamps. And you can tap it, or you can just hold it down. Probably holding it down is the best. Let's get it to a reasonable level. Change the mode. Yeah, it's not really the touch function is probably not the best if you're going to be hanging it on the wall. And I was also wondering, if she's got it see, if she wants it flush, I can't. See, I have a problem. If she wants it flush, I can't have the I can't have like a notch for the wires, because then you'll see that notch when it's flush. But if it's on a bookshelf, you kind of need a notch, unless you want to see the wires going around. I know, I guess it doesn't really matter. You'll have the wires on a bookshelf or whatever going out the back anyway. I don't know, it's a minor problem. If she wants to, she can just cut a little notch with a pair of, take a file and it's just plastic, it'll file away. And if you break something, you can always just print a new one. Anyone with a 3D printer can print this, trust me, it's nothing special. As far as plastic goes, it's just PLA. But so far I'm very satisfied with this. The internet control works great, the touchpads work okay. I mean, it's more like, where can I put these buttons? What's a good place? I don't know. I mean, they work fine when you touch them, but if it's hanging, it's not, the strongest hanging mechanism. And the reason why it's just like a hook or an overhang like that is because of the angle it prints. I couldn't print like in a midair hole to do it like a normal picture hanger, because it prints, this is the part that's facing out, so it prints upwards, and then it needs to do some sort of lip on the other side, and that was the best I could do. I guess you could just drill a hole right into that tab that I've got hanging out. That'd work. Anyways, so that's the B, and the R is printing now. I've already got the part, the box is in the R, that goes on the front. Like I said, it's got the notches on the side and not the right, so that'll snap right into that on the underside. And that's how the Broadway sign would go. But it's all designed and ready to go. Just gotta print everything out now, and maybe figure out something better to do with these touch buttons. And I actually have more pins I can use for touchpads. If anyone has any ideas, maybe you can do something cool with those.